Alright, well, don't do what I did. Whenever I took this off, I took this apart. Now I lost the O-ring in here. And so I had to go rob Peter to pay Paul and rob a brand new pump of the O-ring that's on the inside of here. So I don't have any leaks. Now I think I can start this thing. What?
Just because Peter denied Jesus 3 times doesn't mean you can abuse him. He did give you a license to keep robbing him.
What, Peter?
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's just an expression though, right?
It's a redistribution, you know? It's just...
a redistribution of wealth?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's from me to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not really, we ain't really redistributing nothing. We're just trying to make it work. I'm letting the battery charge on the other one. I'll jump onto this. I gotta replace the fuel pump. Took the battery cables off. It's an old VRO. I think, you know, there's no right or wrong answer is what I'm gonna say about VROs. In general, my rule is you should keep them. Because, you know, they designed this engine this way. He used a VRO. This is an early design. Alright, he tried to get a kit and fix this. And I don't know if it'll show up. Maybe if you see right there. It's cracked. So, that's not good. So yeah, if you look right here, it's cracked. So it's not sealing up good. Some of the, you know, these little nuts, we can take the whole thing off, or we can try to leave the bracket because we're just removing the pump. So this oil is an inlet line, goes right here, and that comes from this tank, which we're going to disconnect, so we can just pull it off, and then we're going to cap it with some kind of bolt or something. Right, I'm going to put a bolt in that. Hopefully it doesn't leak out, but I'll go find a bolt that'll fit that. And then we want to disconnect, you know, our pump. So we're disconnecting that, and then we're gonna try to see. We don't have any connections right here. Hose clamps. So we can disconnect these two, and then there is one line in the front there that goes to out of the engine, you know, the pulse line. Usually there's a little check valve, so we're probably going to remove that check valve, or we're going to check it, because we just need airflow now. Well, that's the way those other ones work. But we can take this screw off, bolt screw, and then there's one more that's somewhere. So I can't remember. It seems like it's easier to just, I don't know, take this whole thing off, and it gives you more access. And you can get in there. Because if I remember right, where's the other? What's on this side? Yeah, so this is kind of can be challenging to get to, but we'll see. Move that out of the way. I'll be able to put a socket on it. And then the whole pump comes out this way. Otherwise you gotta take this bracket loose from the mounts on the motor, and then, you know, in that case you gotta have this off. So we'll see how far we get. But I've got another pump to replace it, and I'll show you that pump. Alright, this is a double pump. It is brand new. It might look real dirty. I had it kind of around. But this is an EMP pump. And basically it just mounts on the hardware. You know. And it may not even use all 3 screws. But then you got your pulse. And then you got your out. And we got a little bit of literature. It tells us which one of those it is. Again, there's a good look at it. That's what you'll replace. So it could just go like kind of in this location or like this. Makes it real easy. But you got to have enough room. So usually it's like this, and then this we'll just point it down. You know, we'll point it in the direction that we got to get our wiring to. And they give literature about how to mount this. So here's our bracket. So if you got, you know, B1, it tells you what, you know, you got to cut this part of the bracket out. But we don't have that version of this bracket. So it should just, and honestly, you could put 2 bolts on it and it'll be great. And they kind of show it like in this direction. So down here, it doesn't have, our brackets don't have like these holes. You could possibly get away with just a 1 single pump, but I'm kind of, this will like be perfect for this application. And then if you want to go back to a VRO pump, it's real easy. You hook up your oil tank, you buy you a brand new Johnson Evinrude VRO, and go from there. Obviously, we got a couple of wires that are in the way. Alright, I took all the bolts out of the front air box. I was going to take it off because, you know, it's just going to be easier. It's going to take me a little less time. I mean, it'll save me time is what I'm saying. But then I'm like, I gotta blow this out. Come through, blow it out. But there's all kinds of minor creepy crawly things, and we're just gonna get them out. Got that blown out. Since I'm working on this side, is moving around over here. This should come loose now. I think I got all the bolts out of it. Yeah, I got one up there. Should come right off. This will just make it easier, right? I moved a couple wires out of the way, disconnected my hot, my ground. Of course, you know, that's all off right now. But and you're gonna need, I can, you know, like you can use an impact, but I don't like it. So now what happened to my wrench? It is? Oh, 7/16. Duh. Can't see anything, can you? Oh, that's loose. No, it's not. It's not wrench. You need to buy some better sockets. I would. Of course, you're supposed to have some gaskets on the back side. So he's got all the gaskets. And we'll have a hose down here. So take that away. Alright, now that gets me out of the way. It gives me a little more room. I can take the whole bracket off. I got the lines basically disconnected. I've just got the one on the bottom here. And we're going to replace that one anyway. And yeah. So I'm going to just tear down. Yeah, somebody even messed up the bolt to this pump. It's a little longer one. Oh, there you go. Alright, here's that one. And this should be loose. Yep. And it's out. So now, let's take these three little bolts. Yeah, so these three are just 5/16. And like I would probably put some Loctite on that. This has got that yellow. I like to know what Loctite it is. Set that right there where I can lose it. And that one, let's make sure we get our washers. We'll need them. Come on. Alright. It's hard filming at the same time. So now we got this. So obviously you can see it was like that. So now we're just going to take our other pump and replace it. So I'm giving that back. And we're going to take this guy and what we gotta do is, you know, sometimes you have this hose in the way. So what you do is you take this off, which I always hate taking them off. I feel like once you take them off, and they never go back, but you have to do this with these. So this is where our screen and everything is, but you kind of do like that. This won't fall out or anything, shouldn't. And then we're going to take this pump and find a hole or two that we can go in. And like if it doesn't, or you don't have a hole, see, because we could do it like this. But really, this would be like the best way. And then in that case, you would only have like one place for that. Like mock up. Just gonna mock it up. So we'll do something like, it'll be hard for me to show you, but get in the hole. So there's one there, and then I got one on the bottom I can tie onto, and that's plenty. If he wants to put it back, we're going to put this screw back. And you haven't lost the screw. Okay? That is not coming with his truck. So this, all this is to the double pump side of it. So we'll put this back. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. So we may have to pick another hole. And we may have to adjust this to be these two holes, because we have to get this back on. Right? So this portion of this, we could do a couple things. You know, we could Dremel it out and cut it. But I don't think we need to do that. I think we'll just redo it again. It's mock-up, right? I had to modify this. But this is how it'll look. So I'll pull it out for you. So I just kind of made some notes. And what you got to do is you got to cut this little area out, so that you can get your cap back on, which I did. And then in the directions over there, it'll tell us, I believe this is our pulse line. Is that right? Yeah. This should be our out. This is our in. So it just goes in and goes back around to the other side of the pump. Our pulse, and a double pumper. And then we got a check valve on here for the output of the engine, and we're going to give him that back, so we don't need that. But if he ever wants to go back to a VRO, he's going to need to put that back on there. I think once he gets it going, he'll probably be fine. He'll be like, yeah, I don't need it. Just gonna have a bunch of this 3/8 line, And just we'll put it. Man, he broke all of his hose clamps. Now the only problem with this is that it's kind of like works with the old fuel line, because or you got to do some kind of elbows to get this to work right. You can leave this other stuff kind of like the fuel input side, and of course this is an oil line over here, so we ain't worried about this anymore. But we need to, you know, we can address that. But first things first, we got to get this where it's getting a good signal to our pump. You know, in our directions, you know, like if you're unsure, it tells you. See, so like there's light in, pulse is the middle one, and the output line is right there. Hopefully that all shows up. See, it pulse in the middle and out. So we have to get this up here where this is not going to kink, and we have to turn like it's a right angle. So we can solve that by, I got this all wrong. We can solve that like maybe with a right angle, and then we can use an original line hopefully and just have it come out of here. So that's going to go there, and then we're going to need a pulse line. Like I said, maybe we just look real close at the hoses that they used, see if we can reuse anything is what I'm saying. Alright, I just ran over to Napa. Well, I actually went to Advance too. I needed some clamps, and try to see if any of them had any hose. Sometimes they, like a while back, they had these Autocraft. They had a huge box at Advance, and they were selling it for super cheap. And then what I should have done was went ahead and bought some of that, because I thought, well, I can use that in the future. But they didn't have any left. They got rid of that. So, but Advance, they had these, and this will work. So, but it'll be a sharp piece of hose and another sharp piece of hose, but it's a right angle. It ain't quite right angle-ish, but it'll work. You know, it'll go right into my A1 fuel line. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this fuel line that I bought, and then we're gonna try to mock this up where we know where to cut it. So we're gonna give him his fuel line back. So I bought two, and then we're gonna go over to this baffle they got down here. There's a baffle that goes to each carburetor, and then also goes over to the primer solenoid for your, like your choke. So we'll cut this one off because we won't need it, and we'll give it back to him, and we'll give him his other little pieces, and then we'll just be done with this. There's nothing wrong with this hose. It's just no reason to cut it. If for some reason he decides he wants to go back to a VRO, he can use this hose, and then that'll be out of the way. Now I can kind of do my mock-up. Get in there. There it goes. Alright. So, like this hose is fine. We cut some of it off. cut off of my fuel line. So probably just this right here. So right now I can tell this is almost even too long. This is about the right length, and this is too long. So then I'll put my 2 clamps on. I just bought some clamps. And I got some other clamp-a-later action going on. They're going to be way too big, but sometimes you just got to do what you can do. That's kind of all you can do, you know. All right, well, this is what it looks like. You know, I got our connection come up here. Just do what you got to do. Like I used a couple of different. I did have to get a connector, like just a plastic 3/8 to 3/8, and I use tie wraps here, the radius ones, because it was really tight, so I didn't think I needed a clamp. Got clamps on everything else. Now I think the only thing to really do is hook up some fuel right here and see if we get any leaks anywhere. And running down the avenue. Anyway, I may do that here a little bit. But I did use some of the original. I think I have one elbow I didn't use. Put it back in our box. But this is the original hose, and because the straight hose would have just kinked up over here on the down here on the corner. So this just makes it fine. That way it's good. It's out of the way. This is all over here. I might even put like a tie wrap right here just to keep it in place. And I'll test it here in a little bit. I don't know, see how it does, but should be good to go. Hopefully we have no leaks. Anyway, that's deleting a VRO, and I guess we, you know, he could have done it a couple ways, but we'll have some of these. Just make sure that wherever this is sticking out, nothing's like touching it and rubbing it, where it eventually, you know, rubs a hole in it. Other than that, it's really not that bad of a job. You'll need a couple of those elbows though to get this to do right. Well, I got the neighbors making all kinds of noise over there. He's putting on some new siding. Everybody in the neighborhood seems to be doing it. Couldn't be anything to do with the fact that this guy was coming around the neighborhood trying to sell everybody something. And I guess she got the money, so get her done, get her done, get her done, done. What am I doing? I'm filling this tub over here. I got some gas, but I'm gonna have to, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to mix up some oil in it now because we deleted the oiler. It was actually a good call. I mean, otherwise you just got to spend a lot of money. Oil tank does work, but he had an old VRO oil, fuel pump, and it was garbage. So I think he tried to rebuild it. Right, he tried to rebuild it. Got some rebuild kit, and you know, it's plastic housing. I mean, they tend to kind of warp on you. So I ain't never seen one really. I know they do work. They works, right? But yeah, I don't know. Every time it seems like I do it, it ends up being more of a problem than just buying a new VRO pump. and calling it a day. So anyway, let me get this filled up and get my gas hooked up. I had to go get some more gas and mix it up, and I'm gonna fire it up and see how it does. All right, well, hopefully I don't have any leaks. See what happens. Yeah, we got a leak. All right, well, don't do what I did whenever I took this off. I took this apart. Now I lost the O-ring in here, and so I had to go rob Peter to pay Paul. Hey. Got this quick start thing. It's a little hot. There we go. See, it settled down. Yeah, that's about right. Make sure we got no leaks. So right here, I can see we got a little leak. Good, man. So that's the leak of VRO. That I lost that O-ring, but
it's always good when you're peeing good.
Yeah, you want to keep a good strong pee, you know. I hate when you get the little trickles going on, but that's being when you're older, so what are you gonna do? I don't know. I'm gonna let her sit there and chew on that for a minute, just to let her sit there. You know, I mean, it's probably hadn't been ran in a while. I think he said a couple of years, so. This is good, man. I'm glad this one's come along nicely. So really, the only thing we really got to do is change the impeller, because he wanted to go ahead and get his impeller changed, even though, I mean, man, it's being pretty good, so. Yeah, I'm glad for him. He's a nice fellow. He's a nice fellow. There goes our local ups guy. All right, well, that's the project for today, was to get that done. I'd like to go drop hatches boat in there. I don't know. I'm gonna put some gas in my boat. So if I want to go fishing, I'm gassed up. How about that? Guess until next time, thanks for watching, subscribing, and liking the videos. And we love your comments. And I don't know, go out fishing. Do something. Thanks for watching.